going to ping the chat. Nope. Please tell me you didn't erase everything that I just did. Okay, thank God. I was gonna be very mad. Okay, and then we're gonna continue. So, oh yeah, forgot we were in high roller mode. No
Can we
pressure.
undo that, do you think?
Uh,
If we need to?
I think it said that we could change it at any time. I
But we can
assume
change it back into.
I think we can change it back into like normal mode. I just don't think we can get back into high roller mode once we leave it. I think.
Right, right, right,
Settings.
right.
Yeah, high
If you
roller
ever feel
mode.
like you need to.
We'll see. I mean, we committed to it, so I'm fine to like just stick with it at least for the time being. I mean, depending on how things go, it might be down the line. It might be something that we have to do something with. But I think I think I'm fine with it for now, at least. So, um, okay, we should look at this first. Oh yeah, so we are going to visit this guy. Well, we're not going to visit him because he's dead.
Mhm.
And Morgan was a friend of his, and um, then we met his assistant, who I don't remember her name, but we will look at it. Oh yeah, this is David Asher. Um,
Mhm.
and we met his assistant, who I guess we're also friends with. I don't know I guess through him probably. And she was like, "Hey, he told me to give you something right before he died. He had a meeting with me, and that was the last time I saw him. So, but she had to bring us to the estate. Like it's not something that she could just like send to us. And we're pretty sure it's the green-haired Miku girl that we saw at the end of last episode, the chapter 0. Um,
Mhm.
but not like 100% sure like what the circumstances surrounding the whole thing are. So yes, so I think we just got through the ride and we are about to. Oh, and also Morgan's the heartbreak killer too. She's like a serial killer, so um, that's a
Mhm.
whole thing.
Mhm.
That's part
Mhm.
of it. But she probably definitely didn't kill this guy because it doesn't fit her mo. There's also probably something suspicious about this guy's death, probably. And he is also,
She
um,
seemed genuinely shocked when learning about his death.
yes, yes. So unless there's some weird stuff going on with that, yeah, which is not entirely impossible, but shocking. And then David Asher is also the like kind of the front runner of the Noble Electronics and did a lot of like revolution with his robotics stuff, which means that he was a relatively powerful guy in all things considered. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that was it. Um, there's also some detectives, but they haven't been in this little like group. Um, like they were in what's it called? Chapter 0. So we'll probably run into them again. Oh, and Emma, the DA. So yeah,
Emma.
Emma best girl. Well, depending on who you're talking to, but oh yeah, she's not even here. So Starling, yeah, Jessica Starling is the assistant. So who was David again? Oh, David Asher. That's so weird that
Mhm.
Starling Jessica is last name Starling and David is David Asher. I don't know if this is meant to be a reflection of how Morgan sees them. Like
Probably.
David is close enough to be first name
First name
basis,
basis.
but Jessica isn't, I guess.
Je- Starling is David's assistant and not a person in and of. Then again, this is how she thinks of her mother. Aunt?
I don't think
I don't
I
remember
don't think
the
she was officially.
relation.
Yeah, I don't think they're officially related. I think she like interned for this lady or something like that. But I
I
don't
could have
remember for
sworn
sure.
there's like a. I could have sworn there was like a motherly relation of some variety.
There might have been. I don't remember. That is a little outside of my scope.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so.
Alright!
Yay!
The Kiki recap
Kiki
is successful.
recap. Da 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 da.
Okay. That's
Alright.
where we're at.
Yes, so now. Platea? Platea?
But
Excuse me.
which one of us was Starling? Shit.
I think you were Starling. I think we decided that it would mostly go like.
You're Morgan and I supporting actors.
Generally, yeah.
And I thought there were a lot of police before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan?
She's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, heads peeking over shoulders and around signs. Police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Who the hell were all those people?
Well, they've always been people with strong feelings about our product.
The android stepped forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Most of them with official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerged from the crowd to join them. Excuse me. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it?
Yep, David had the penthouse all to himself. But every other floor's tenants are Noble employers, too.
Not an uncommon arrangement in Uptown. Work at Noble, rent from Noble. Wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. They don't actually do that last part. I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Oh!
Yeah, it's a pretty standard benefit, actually. It's cheap for them compared to dental. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard and the company will have you set for life.
And after. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control, and PR and liability. Everybody just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can just skip all these checkpoints?
No, absolutely not.
So who do we need permission from? The cops or the company?
My request went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. We won't need to go near the actual, Is this all a crime scene, if it's not technically a crime?
I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in the penthouse's basement, but we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. We'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died, then...
Okay. So if we just flush my ID card at any problem that comes up...
Including him. Oh!
Hey, ladies, look, I'm sorry, but we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else buy and we won't be able to maintain. Huh. You're that lawyer. Morgan.
You caught me, detective. How long's it been?
Feels like it's been ages.
Oh dear. Not still bitter about our last encounter, I hope.
I'll live.
I don't see this spunky one around. Is she taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm?
Detective Reyes is around. Why? You miss it that bad?
I've had blind pimples that were more endearing.
You two know each other?
Jess Starling, lead homicide detective.
Hasim.
Hasim? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Hasim London. I think it's his birthday today, actually. I think I saw this on Twitter. Oh, it was yesterday.
Cinco de Mayo. It's a pleasure, miss. Oh, likewise?
As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted. Comes with the line of work.
Morgan's being modest, sweetheart. We're practically blood. Oh, wow, me? Sweetheart?
Something wrong, Starling?
Oh, no, nothing wrong. Is that a I don't understand sexual attraction confusion, or a why are you sexually attracted to this hobo confusion?
That's a good point. I had thought it was the latter, but it might have been the former now that you mention it. Or maybe it was just, you seem freaked out for some reason, but I can't tell in what way. Is this guy harassing you? Because, I don't know, like, social cues go over her head or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know social cues. We don't have much evidence from the country. I don't think social cues would go over.
I don't think so, but it's always a possibility, I suppose. That's probably the least likely.
Maybe romance is just a blind spot for her, as they are with many Toxic Fury protagonists. What is romance? All I feel is unquenchable bloodthirst.
Yeah.
You don't look like you want to kill him. What do you mean you like him? But close as we are, still can't just let her walk in off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play the rules by the rules today.
Play by the rules? So there is a game afoot. What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity?
You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. Call it an old man's intuition.
Good detectives don't rely on intuition, though, do they? They rely on evidence.
Oh, I don't rely on it, don't worry. I just need to lean on it every now and then, when my back gets up. Oh, cool.
Guy gets a bit of gray in his hair and thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter.
The deceased wasn't your client.
No, that would have been a conflict of interest.
Conflict of... You two knew each other. I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences.
Thank you. But what I could really use is a bit of your help.
You shoot really fast.
Jess?
Right. We have this clearance here, Detective. Sir, from legal, which allows us... That's alright, little lady, I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady.
We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective.
Alright, why not?
How generous.
I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up...
He gestures to the lobby full of suits and cops.
Plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack.
Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I can take this time to ask you a few questions?
Hey, you can always ask Tiger. But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is, not entirely up to me.
Okay, go in order? Or did we determine that this is the kind of thing we need to be sensitive about?
Not here, I don't think.
Okay.
Unless we look entire and you're like, maybe I don't want to answer your questions anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of rude, well.
We can.
But no,
finish
I
it
don't
if
think
you
this
want.
is sensitive. No, I don't think this is sensitive. I think you're fine.
I think I would agree.
If it's the first on the list, you're naturally inclined to pick it first, no?
Right. You're looking a bit haggard. How long have you been here, anyway?
Since this morning. But civilized folks don't call it morning when the street lights are still on.
Even if you got here around 1 or 2 in the morning, that still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had the lay of the land. Sounds like you could use a break.
I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right?
According to all my business cards.
Think I can sue for elder abuse?
Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. You would lose, though.
I already regret asking.
Why'd they got a homicide detective losing sleep over this anyway?
A man is dead. Wasn't killed by a fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation.
As far as we know.
So at the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fit. But we're leading in name only. High profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. Did we ever decide what the flashing black in her eyes means?
I know we discussed it, but I don't think we determined, like, if there was a specific correlation to anything.
Because, like, flashing colors in eyes is indicative of, like, brain mod? Or eye mod?
We did talk about that, yeah. We already
And,
kind
like,
of had the idea that maybe she was, like, modified in some way.
I kind of get the idea that, like, everyone could be modified in some way.
I would guess that...
Or, like... Or, well, I guess her specifically because orange isn't... It's like it's an anime color for eyes, but it's not, like... You know?
Right.
I'm also just kind of... Jess's eyes are not centered. And it's bothering me the tiniest bit. And because of that, I needed to bother you.
I was about to say, thanks
Wait.
for informing me of that, because now I definitely
I can't be suffering alone.
Thank you. Very, very kind of you.
Yeah, no problem.
I've been checking my phone, but the only thing the news seems to agree on is that David passed away.
Sorry, but if you ask for details...
No, thank you. Oh. No.
No,
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Much better. For not letting them make this into a parade. Yet.
We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved in an ongoing investigation.
He declined to say victim. Detective, Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years.
Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone.
Can you tell me if he killed himself?
It looks like that's the case.
I see. Thank you for telling me that.
Dr. Ash. Yeah, you're, well... sorry.
Another round of guarded words. David was an important man, and it has only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David, it wasn't cut and dry.
I'm getting more that... So, she definitely uses social cues as a weapon.
Yeah.
So it's definitely more of a romance specifically trips her up.
Yeah.
He's looking more and more.
I do like the idea that, like...
Attraction, maybe.
Yeah, I do like the idea that, like... Just, like, yeah, just all of it, like... She's super good and lethal at everything she does, but, like, romance is just, like, a big, giant blank spot for her, or attraction.
Just a blind spot. Right in the center of her eye.
Mm-hmm. boys in Noble all getting along with each other? Sharing your toys?
Some of the younger ones are bristling. But I always play well with others, Counselor.
And how well do the Megs play with you? They give you full access to the building security?
You want to look at that one real quick?
Sure.
Mega Corporation or one of their employees.
Okay. Job creator or patriot? Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate that.
Anti-industrious sentiment. Oh my god. Stop being mean to our billionaire!
Yeah.
I swear to god I'm gonna buy another social media platform! They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system. Top of the line coverage, top to bottom of the building. Oh, slipping into Irish there, Jesus. The size of the data stream's torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all.
A more conspiratorial man might think that was intentional.
Bury some data and hope we're too swamped to find whatever they're trying to hide. Maybe. Wait, they give you full access to the penumbra? That means every android in the building is feeding you their full spectrum. You know your stuff? The penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net, but that's not what helps
Since there weren't any androids in the penthouse.
Right. You know, I'd heard the rumors. Never put much stock in them, but... It's true. Asher really never owned a single android. Never. Oh, suppose I might do the same if I was the genius who programmed them all. Every time they open their mouths, it'd just be...
His own lip service refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved.
I feel like that's a direct quote.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's so specific.
So that means all you'll have to investigate with are the penthouse's security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of this, ladies.
David was one of the biggest names in tech. He is the face of Noble Electronics.
Uh-huh.
One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contributions to the field.
Some people felt that way, sure.
So do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that?
Remind me, which of one of this is the detective again?
You really won't let me pick your brain?
You already know the answer. Yes, as a controversial, androids especially. We at Noble are aware that our products are sometimes a subject of heated debate, but no need to put the handbook aside, Miss. Truth be told, I never really understood the hate.
It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost a job to an ad at least once in their career?
Every last one of them lost their jobs because of their bosses. Their flesh and blood bosses fired them. Nah, ads are just a symptom. Scratch that. Ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless. And vandalizing them is less than pointless, because unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, android production has surged over the last decade to become one of the nation's biggest exports. True. Must have at least one thing we can make in this country. That's right. Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is probably done right here at home.
I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be a point of national pride. You don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contributions to the national economy.
Alright, now listen, I don't mind being helpful, and I am trying to be sensitive here. But we really do have a lot of our hands at the moment. So I'm gonna have to ask you to be discreet, and ideally, fast. Well, our business is just in the basement. David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof. So its basement would be...
Second to last floor, if you want to be technical detective. The point is,
We don't need to go to the kitchen or the parlor. We'll go straight to his workshop and then head downstairs.
the kitchen and the parlor.
I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself.
Wow, an escort like royalty? Isn't he a gentleman?
Huh? Yes, he's...
Lead the way, detective. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones through the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside, and its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now. Or worse, Ram loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose their whole life, following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trail, having led them here, for half reasons they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects.
I wonder if that's actually the line in the script.
Yeah, that is fascinating. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin. The Misunderstood Genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee, or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work, with his eyes fixed ahead.
Buried in his worth is a fun little slip up, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, is it denigrating or is it...
I don't know.
This is... what? His laboratory. His shop, he called it. How down to earth.
It's messy in here. David is always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it. If he was leaving things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for all your help, Detective London.
Don't mention it. Leave, Detective London. What, you want me to step out?
We won't take long.
Not lacking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. I'll be in and out as soon as possible, promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted.
One it's set aside for his foundation. We'll be sure to flag it.
Right. And she's already wearing gloves.
If we find a dead body, you'll be our first call.
Morgan, what was this stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group.
You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you?
Actually, this is my first.
Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while cops are still searching them.
Oh. Oh!
Look, if David had something to give me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand?
Of course.
Great. After you.
Right. Quiet as a church house.
The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but...
I figure Morgan would be the type of person to be anal about stuff.
Yeah.
Yourself. I'm okay.
But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her.
Honey.
David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise. Always claimed he didn't have the time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, said he couldn't find the time. And then even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still...
Morgan? What's up? You're smiling. What's so funny?
Nothing. Just surprised to see the place renovated.
Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple of contractors a while back. Never thought I'd have to learn so much about concrete and what. Did you know that marble needs to be treated or else the interior will...
I didn't know that. Is that true?
Wait, is it not? But our guy told me that without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table could...
Is that the vault over there then?
Her guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, stands out, I guess.
Nervous?
What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps, mostly, so... Oh, I was wondering why she was holding ice cubes up to her cheek.
Oh, I didn't
That
realize.
makes more sense.
I guess
That makes more sense.
it's
Okay.
accompanied with like a little puff of air every time. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can't hear
Okay.
that well. No.
It's small. It's like a softer one, so that makes
Okay.
sense then. Okay. Aren't you going to open it?
Open it. Don't you know the combination?
No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault.
Oh. Oh. No, how could I... He didn't tell you or give you a code or...
He gave me the code to get into the building. And the parking garage. But not the code of whatever this is.
Oh, okay. Now I heard that one.
Okay, that makes
Don't
sense.
know why it's styled as a pair of ice cubes.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean, that it looks like it's a little more square than your average inhaler, and the blue color. I feel like I only ever see like red inhalers, so it is different, but
It's very noble,
true.
I guess. If their colors are gold and blue.
Yeah,
golden
that seems to be the
cyan.
case. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them?
Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You should stay right there, Morgan. I'll have this settled in a sec.
Sounds good. Alright then.
Her guys. Did you No, she was not lying, I don't think. Or, well, her first instinct was not to immediately turn around and open the fucking thing.
Yeah. Just to see. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like a Tethys Basics Sturdicure anti-hack, anti-digital, high-rated code panel. Jesus Christ. Say that 10 times fast. Nothing basic about it. But at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Only 1 million possible combinations. Oh, hold on. Okay, well I'm gonna look at this first. Oh, love that.
I don't like that winky face.
Yeah.
I don't like how you're interrupting my search engine to
Yeah.
fucking
that's
advertise
so
at me.
Scummy. Okay, well, first of all,
High roller mode. Okay, so
I worry that, like...
you want to try to get lucky.
I kind of am interested in that, but I'm also worried, like... do you think this is the kind of game that it would, like... It would self-destruct and then, like, the game over or something like that?
High roller mode doesn't disallow us from safe scumming, it just makes it a little harder. Wait, I'm pretty sure we just saved. So
That is true.
But-
Do you wanna try?
no. If you're thinking it's a bad idea,
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea.
I'm thinking that if it's for her,
it's something she'll know.
it's specifically set aside for her, and no one knows about it except his assistant, and it's a 6-letter combination. It could just be her name, just straight up.
Or is it like, hold on. Well, we don't have her year. Yeah, it could be her name. We could try it.
Sure, why not?
Slim chances. But what the hell? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? Oh.
Right, my birthday, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes along with what you were thinking. Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to dwell on why I thought that could work.
Aw,
Forget
honey.
it. Oh, there's a different terminal over here. How do security systems according to the label? Maybe it controls the whole room? Damn, it's password protected too. And the code's 64 digits long. What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egg-headed? Okay, yeah, a programmer probably would care more about his IoT than whatever he could fit in a safety deposit box. Guess it's the 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick.
And definitely not a lockpicking lawyer.
And whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in this safe, he wanted it kept secure. And I also know that he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games. And he really liked beating me. So if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. Oh!
Ooh.
So we have the weights. Stuff over here. The bar.
Oh, maybe. I think that if we advance, was there a
Huh?
go over the things? Admire, examine.
Okay, so what?
There's nothing over on the left. There's something else over on the left side. Just the weights.
Seems to be the case, yeah. So we have examine, admire,
Alright.
examine, inspect.
All right.
Just what, left or right? Or-
And the magnifying glass doesn't do anything.
I think it just. Oh, it disappeared when I clicked it. I think it just indicates we're in like search mode.
Start with the crack in the floor.
Oh shoot! Missed that. This flooring's a new addition. Looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym or on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation, left a defect in. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight. Okay, interesting. Okay. Did he, like, drop one of these when he tried to work out or something?
That makes more sense.
Taking a closer look, this is a pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers. In which case the digits on weights could be a clue. But there's too many and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set all the weights to max because it looked more neat? Interesting,
That makes sense.
okay. It's a very big painting, and it's impressionist. No, cubicle. Cubist, which is still incorrect. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is
not. Who is she talking to right now?
I don't know.
It has to be the author.
I would assume that's probably.
I have like what if I think like just based on advertising, we're probably getting a cute little AI's robot. What if she just plugged into the audio,
Oh,
into the
really
security cameras, and she can hear right now?
Yeah, we're actually her.
And that's her.
And she's talking now. She's like, "Wow, this girl's dumb." Whatever its style, I do remember that David liked this painting. There was a date on it. That could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe signing your work was considered gosh. I've actually never heard that word pronounced out loud, so.
Neither have I. That's my best guess.
Cool. Among the cubicleists? I love it. I'm gonna call it cubicalism. Cubicalism from now on. David's wine collection still towering over the room. Don't know why he buys so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was a Murdercamp 81. Could be significant. Except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. But if there were 3 bottles with 2 digits... This must be his spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer could love. Nostalgia sweet like that. Overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. Alright, I've searched the whole room now. Time to make a break. Oh no!
Ah!
Oh no!
High roller mode? Wait, what?
I can't.
Seriously?
I thought it would let me like look at the stuff, but it won't let me. Oh my god. Do I have to actually manually? What? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well.
Okay. What the fuck?
Not ideal. I assumed it was in the notes, but I was like, oh, we'll get to it. I can also reload and skip through until we get almost everything.
Yeah, can you do that?
Okay, okay. BRB, everyone.
Jesus Christ.
That's so annoying. Yeah, I guess they mean it when they say high roller for sure. Okay, I gotta share back to you. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Okay. Okay, continue. Maybe I'll get lucky. Do we want to pick something else here, just in case? To get a different dialogue, or are we fine with...
Do you want to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
That is kind of
Real
funny.
quick.
Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really... Okay, yeah. It's the same dialogue. Okay.
Okay, so
Maybe skip
which one...
just for...
Which one gave us an article? Do you remember?
I think the... I don't know what the skip button is. Is it...
Alright, so maybe we should... Oh, you found it. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
so
think
I
it was
think it
on
was-
the... I think it was on the painting.
The painting did. The painting gave at least one. I think one of these two also gave one. So we'll start with the painting.
And there's a term.
Okay, so there's IoT, Internet of Things.
Internet of Things. What is your skip button, by the way? Is it escape?
It's control. Okay, this is.
Okay.
This doesn't have anything about numbers. This is a painting. Predator. Okay, here's a date.
11/25/58.
Okay. So there's a very good chance.
But now I'm curious. About something.
Oh.
What if we did that again? Just quit out, went back in, and put in 11/25/58 without looking at anything. What happened? Would it just assume that we cheated?
Maybe. Okay.
I don't think we should do this. I think that's just a waste of time. But I'm curious.
Yeah, if we weren't playing high roller mode, I would definitely be down to test it.
11/25/58.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at stuff because we get chips. Okay, I don't
Yes, we
get
get
that.
chips.
Okay, yeah, none of those came with anything. And that was also not anything. Okay. Okay. Okay, first of all, we're going to turn the read-only mode back on. And-
Red only, I think, in this case.
Or,
But,
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Just okay, so it was
Like,
11?
it's just 11/25/58. But more to the point, save. Do you know why they give you multiple saves in like a game? It's for software purposes.
For software purposes?
Yeah. So, generally speaking, look, I'm going through this a lot in 100 Line too, right? So, you can't make changes to your party's layout. You can't upgrade anything in your party unless you have free time to do so. And there are large stretches of the game that are just wake up, scene, go to sleep. Wake up, scene, go to sleep. Wake up, scene, go to sleep.
Okay.
And sometimes wake up, scene, go to sleep leads into a boss fight where you haven't been able to go get free time for 2 weeks.
Oh, so you're
Right.
stuck with like your old party.
Yeah. So and it's unexpectedly difficult. So what you're supposed to be doing, the game encourages you to do, is save basically every day. Or like every few days or whatever. So that way, if you go into a long uninterrupted string and you end up in a fight and you say, shit, this is really hard, I can't do anything. You load the save 2 weeks ago. Do all your upgrades. So you don't get stuck there. Because what could happen is, if you don't have a save, you would have to restart from maybe 30 days ago instead. And you have to go through an additional 15 days worth of work. It doesn't matter here. Nothing but it's just good practice. But so like if we come back to play, if something happened, right, and your save is now directly before this prompt, and we can't look at any information that we have. So if something happens and like you go on your trip and you can't like play for like 3 weeks and we don't remember the password, just like as an example, right? All right. But
That's
like
good to know.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just anyway. But yeah, 11/25/58. We found it. We did the same thing. Ay, ay, ay.
11/25/58. The date the painting was signed. Password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one.
Hey, Morgan. Hi. What? How did you get it to open? What is that?
I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned across her temple. Required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's...
Snoring?
I stepped forward and placed the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm.
It must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17? 18?
Biomechanical A biomechanical android with real human flesh.
Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but
Sorry, I misspoke.
Right, understandable, since...
You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years now?
Or managers like this one? I mean, yeah, we have, sorry, it's just that this particular model is very, it's very cutting edge.
Bleeding edge, judging by the flush in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we've found what we're looking for.
I think so too.
That presents a problem, then.
Oh, do you not, approve?
I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical.
Practical?
I don't know how to turn it on.
Do you see a switch? It's snoring. We just
I was about to say,
said
I'm not sure
that.
it needs to be
I
turned
think
on.
you
Unless
just
warm
kind of
androids
shake her a
generally,
little bit.
like, unless that is a feature of warm androids, is like when they're off, they snore, but,
They started upright. I have to assume that this wasn't done for comedic effect, but rather
yeah, that's true.
is an actual attention to detail. I think she's just on.
Yeah, I would guess so.
It's on? Do you actually use its pronouns?
Oh, that's a good question.
And but like I have to assume it's just like was standing perfectly upright and then tilted to the left afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good indication that they're alive in some form. Do you?
Can we turn it around or?
I poked the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake. But it doesn't budge. This thing is to weigh more than...
Alright, androids mostly transport themselves.
A bit. I'm surprised this whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up.
Crap. Press the vault now this.
I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm going to step back into the lab for a moment, alright?
Huh? Oh, sure. I'll, there's gotta be a manual here.
Good idea. It might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its get a number and find something in the company files.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
All generic ID numbers should be generic ID number?
That's a good point.
Should be paired with industry certifiers on maintenance track.
I somehow doubt the enigmatic android taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Asher's basement will have a user manual. But it can't hurt for her to try, and...
I'm okay. Broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue.
And I'd rather search the lab by myself. Now then, if I were David and I wanted to make sure that only one person will be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? Okay. Oh my god, okay. So, inspect over here.
Uh-huh.
Boot up. Examine. Check.
What are we booting up?
I think it's either this printer or these screens over here. I'm not sure which one it's pointing to.
Okay.
So, any preference on where we start?
No. Left to right is fine.
Okay. These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything. Typical for a genius. But a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected in here. Centrifuges and glasses and microscopes. Don't programmers do all their work with a keyboard? Okay. Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well.
Buddha complete. Username?
Vocal commands? David Asher? Morgan? Guest?
Thank you for locking in as a guest.
I didn't recognize my voice, so I could probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android.
You have a question?
More than one. For now, though, what should I search for on his computer? I think it makes sense to go in order if it lets us do more than one.
Sure.
Search files for Android. Jesus.
66,000 results and counting.
Yeah, okay. David would have a lot of files on androids. I'll need to search smarter than that. Search files for basement?
812 results on the local drive. Should I expand the search?
Auditing how he renovated his basement could take all day. Search files for Morgan?
23 results on the local drive.
I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data. But I don't recognize this file type. Some kind of personnel format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height, and weight? Alright, buddy, a little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints? Now, where do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected it himself from a wine glass and the like. It would have been easy to do. But why do it? Okay, so does that mean our fingerprints have to... I don't know. Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most developed part of the human body. Good for making stone axes and sending emails. Great, Morgan. Oh no, not best viewers.
Oh no, not best viewers. Alright, I'll log it onto Twitch Mobile
Okay,
to
thank you.
kill robots.
You're probably way faster at it than I am. How dare we kill robots in a game about androids?
Got it.
Nice.
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations. But androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority at Noble. that tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and then if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires. A 0 becomes a 1, and all the other zeros around it take that into consideration. Beat that a couple billion times a second, and you've got a human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. It's the analogy I read in a magazine, anyway. Okay. I haven't seen one since college, but this must be a 3D printer of some sort. It was expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Better not mess with any of the settings. Alright, I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it's like, what it'll take to turn on this android. I've got the what for the where and how. I'll just have to manage. It's still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Morgan!
Oi. Morgan! There you are! I looked in every registry I could find in every database I can... I don't think this android is in the system.
That was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Yes, but an android without proper identification is...
It's only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this online.
I guess you're right, huh?
We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here.
Oh? You don't want to save here?
Oh, that's a good idea. Should we look up this just in case since I'm here?
Generic identification, number.
All ads clearly identify themselves. Stamping they didn't get code onto Android bodies. Cheek above the collarbone or the back of the hand. I'm supposed to get on the wrist, but this could clearly for backlash.
There's a historical reference I'm missing here.
I wonder if that has to do with like Nazi, like.
Probably.
I know they got tattoos. I don't remember specifically. I think wrist tattoos was what they made the prisoners wear, but I don't quote me on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fake barcodes are one of the most commonly requested tattoos. The vast majority of reputable parlors will draw a line through the barcode once finished to avoid breaking identity law, but there are some clients who care little about the consequences. MMA fighter infamously supports the Gin tattoo across his right knuckles and makes a show of signing a check to pay the fine for displaying a false Gin on an international broadcast every time he enters the ring. Ooh, we got a badass over here. Okay. If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me to turn it on.
What are you thinking?
David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You've done a swab before, haven't you?
Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics. Oh, so you're gonna...
My DNA and my fingerprint make the key. Now, where to find the lock? I would assume... hand? Since the x-rays were highlighting the hand?
Maybe.
Or what are you thinking?
Yuri brain is going crazy. I just
And
want them to
lips?
kiss. Yeah. But, you know, if you think yours makes more sense, then...
I don't know if it makes more sense per se, but
Like, I guess if you want a more structured argument, for one of the other, yeah, the hands were highlighted in the lab, so that would make more sense. But also, it was talking about neurons firing within the fingers, right? And that doesn't seem like the best way to... Like, you have to use your hands to identify a whole bunch of, like, sensory data, right? You have to touch a whole bunch of shit.
yeah.
Whereas the lips and the tongue is only used for like taste.
Yeah.
So like if you were going to input a DNA scanner, and you put it on the hand, it would pick up a whole bunch of like dust, right? A whole bunch of like DNA from like skin flakes whenever you touch the thing. Whereas you're not going to be licking a mouse that somebody else, that 30,000 people would already touch. I don't know. I am trying to justify Kith.
Well, I guess it wouldn't really be kiss anyways. It would just be like boop.
I don't know. But like you said, there was an indication of hand scanning in the previous room. So like, it would make sense if it was hand.
Like, is there anything that we saw that like indicates that it could be anything else? Like,
like I said, I don't have anything going. I don't have any evidence pointing towards. Like,
okay.
I'm trying to justify Kiss. I'm not.
Fair enough. Okay, let's try hand, and if it doesn't work, then we saved. So maybe it'll even let us retry. There was that diagram back in a shop. Was it meant to be a literal handshake verification? Oh, dang. Shoot.
I thought that would work.
Me too. Okay.
Well,
Well, do you want to go for lips then?
sure. Unless you want to, you're not. I don't think. I guess the once the handshake verification fails, I guess the argument is: does Morgan think his friend is? Does Morgan think her friend is a perp?
Ooh.
Is that this type of game?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we don't really know enough about their relationship yet.
Also, is that a face mask below her chin?
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
It is weirdly shaped.
I don't know. Just thought it was interesting.
The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan. Even if it is gross placing my finger there.
Oh, that's still not doing it, huh?
Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper? Jiggle the key?
Oh man, you really went, man. You're touching the tongue?
It's blinking at me. Oh, that was it! Dang, I'm so sorry I doubted you.
Well, you know what? Good moment. Well, you know what? You doubted me, but Morgan also disappointed me. I am upset.
I'm sorry.
Good moment. Or I guess it would be like, good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Cute. Hello. I've never seen you two before.
I guess we should introduce ourselves then.
Hi.
This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that?
I understand. She is Jessica Sterling, and you are Morgan. Last name unknown?
No, Morgan is my last.
Father told me about you. He did? Wait. Father?
David. You had to call you Daddy?
I am referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused?
That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say that he was giving you to me? Transferring ownership?
Ownership? That is correct.
And what else did...
Mostly correct.
Right. And what else did he tell you?
Many things. Oh, God. You're a fucking brat. Can you specify?
I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program.
Did Dr. Asher tell you anything that he wanted you to convey to Morgan? A message you were supposed to pass on? Yes.
Jess, I think it's trying to...
Oh! Okay, sure. I'll give you two. Well, I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes. I'll just head back up to the lab and take some calls, okay?
Thanks, Jess.
Yes. Thank you, Jess. You're welcome.
Just the two of us now. So, what do I call you?
My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan.
Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So, what's the message?
Father told me I would be living with you from now on. And he told me that you would look after me.
Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Should it?
A model this lifelike with warmth and breath and something close to blood in its veins. Just what are you, anyway?
You forgot my name already? It's Sarah.
What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you?
That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at a state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour.
What purpose did Dr. Asher design you for?
I don't know the answer to that question.
You don't know why he built you?
No. Should I?
How can you not?
Do you?
Would I be asking you if I did?
I meant, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak! A monster! What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please! Why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born?
Guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. We've talked about this, but we don't know specifically what it is, so...
How do you avoid the answer to all past? A program dissertation by Dr.
Interesting.
Turing solution.
Oh yeah, I already read that. Haha.
Father's framework for programming linguistics. And the body of work for which he first gained international recognition.
Yeah, an international gellet.
Do you have an answer to my question? An answer as to why you were created? Why you exist?
Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me.
I see. Then I will give a similar answer. I was created because Father wanted to make me.
Can't argue with that logic, can I?
Can't argue with that logic. Father did say that you're a lawyer.
Yeah, that's me.
You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic.
It's just so cute. World-class, high-power attorney, the best defense money can buy.
So, do you catch criminals?
That's what cops do.
Do you litigate criminals?
That's what prosecutors do.
And do you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice, sue corrupt corporations and officials?
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Then, what do you do?
I'm a criminal defense attorney.
A defender of the innocent and powerless.
Uh-huh.
Do you also...
Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself?
I've never had to do that before.
First time for everything. How old are you?
I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer.
0 for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date on your earliest memory?
2 years ago.
And where were you constructed? Or assembled or whatever? What facility?
I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here. By himself.
You're saying if I took you apart, I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers? Any IDs of any designer?
So you want to take me apart?
David is a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home?
We found a bunch of hard science tools back in his lab.
Yeah,
I think he's been working on this for a long while.
I would guess, yeah. He couldn't have. He must have had help. Probably a whole department's worth. If I ask around, there's gotta be someone in the company who can ID this thing and help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of?
This body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into the thyroid system. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt.
Wait, worm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble.
My cybernetic system operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxygen.
You mean you've got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from?
Pardon?
I tried moving you earlier and I felt like I was pulling against a truck.
My skeleton is a combination of medical grade plastics and military grade tissue.
Say that 10 times fast. That sure took the wind out of her sails.
My muscles are made of an adaptive rare earth alloy nanoweave with shock absorption and potential rated pack.
Wait, did you say military grade?
I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms. I can ride a sustained speed over 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately.
I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing there, it seems to be poised, controlled, spring tight, strength and flexibility like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection.
Oh, David knew a lot about you.
As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for a perfect infiltration unit. The perfect weapon, if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? Dismantling a military prototype in secret?
Are you deep in thought?
But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. And would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military?
I have other features I could tell you about if you like.
If if I shot you, would you die?
It would be very painful,
She's like, please don't.
and there would be discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective.
That settles it. This thing's a weapon, sure as I...
Would you like to know about my hair?
Your hair?
I'm impressed you noticed. You didn't. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime.
That must come in handy?
I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has an ambient wireless charging function, and I haven't gone outside much.
Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all.
They even made a daughter.
Yeah, I think so. You're just a pincushion, aren't you?
I'm not familiar with the term. Searching. Pincushion. Jargon. Design. Refers to prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues.
Got an idea? Not sure what to do with it? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good as an explanation for it. It's as good an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features, spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years.
Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and usable results.
But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now... Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relay to me?
Besides that you were to look after me? He also told me that you were reliable and I should... He said that I was to listen to you and obey your instructions.
Finally, some good news.
As you say, Adonai?
What's that? That word you called me. What was that?
Adonai. From classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master?
No.
Very good, Adonai.
Why'd David use Hebrew, though?
Abrahamic myth tells of serpents constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their master. Golems. Father must have found the comparison appropriate.
Amusing, more likely. It's just a joke.
Father would not make light of such a thing.
Sure he would.
Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reason.
Oh, baby girl!
Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs?
When was the last time you were active?
38 hours ago.
Thursday night, then?
Correct.
Right. David Asher is dead. He died last night. Understand?
How?
See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days.
Father was not... He was not sick.
I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with two robots in one day. That's very charming, but let's go to commands only.
What? What happened? Did he have an accident?
Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not...
The police are wrong.
Excuse me?
They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He never do such a thing.
I think if you said the line, it cut out.
Father had... He told me.
Look, Sarah, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm?
I've been around death a lot. So don't try to lecture me about grief, Spearmint.
My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. David Asher, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself.
Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize that soon enough.
The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said that you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable. And a friend. You should be looking into his death.
That's... Is that an order?
Of course not. It is a request, Adonai.
Request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job, and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle, but what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to...
Father asked you to look after me.
Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem quite as fixated on that part.
And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. One favor.
The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me.
Father is gone. So now it is between you and... And I am calling him a favor now.
What?
You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. Please tell me to some... to you. In exchange, you... And you will make sure that whoever... Why are you laughing?
It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong.
It was not my intention to amuse. Rotate.
No, that's for damn sure. Fine. I'll take that deal, Sarah.
You mean... you will prove that Father did not...
I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can.
Then where do we start?
I didn't realize you had a law degree.
I do not have a law degree, but I am a fast learner.
This isn't a job interview.
And I am far from useless. I can...
That did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective. And David is my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless...
And I am also capable of...
Can you tell a lie?
I am capable of making statements that are false.
Guess that'll have to do.
Are you going to ask me to lie?
Yes. To the police, in fact.
Lying to the police is a felony.
Androids don't commit felonies. They make errors.
I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? If we're
Do you think we
wanting
should...
to stop...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like this might launch into another big scene.
Yeah, this seems like a transition.
Yeah.
Here's a good
Yeah.
pausing point.
Agreed. It's in a weird spot of, like, not the full 2 hours, but also, like, that whole scene was, like, we didn't even
Okay.
tangent that much, but, like, it was legit, like, an hour and a half, so.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about Sarah?
Sarah's very funny.
I love her so much as, like, a character. I think she's very cute.
We also learned a bit about Morgan.
Yeah.
That's a particular intolerance that I probably should have, but did not expect.
That's fair. Um, this is giving me like a mix between like iRobot and Blade Runner kind of vibes. When it comes to the idea, I mean, like a lot of robot media and like cyberpunk media in particular tends to deal with the idea of like personhood of like robots, but like those two in particular, it kind of like. And by iRobot, I mean like mostly like the movie, not like the Isaac Asimov thing, because those are very different things. But the idea of like robot who is very realistic, whose creator has suddenly died.
Oh, yeah, that does feel like this.
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
I have not.
You should watch it.
It seems like required viewing, yeah.
Yes, it's so good. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not. I loved it as like a kid. Like I thought it was really good. It's definitely not like the Isaac Asimov like book / short story. I don't remember what it was. But I think it's quite fun. I think it's really good. It's got a pretty good cast. So I would definitely especially like if you haven't seen either and you had to pick between the two, I would pick iRobot over Blade Runner personally, but I would definitely watch it if you have time, and also movie watching energy, which I know.
Yeah, that one's a bit.
Yeah, I also don't regularly have movie watching energy, so like relatable. But it is kind of, but that is kind of like the bit of it is like there's this robot who's like sort of seems to be self-aware, and the creator has died, so now there's this like cop who hates robots and now has to kind of align himself with a robot in order to investigate the death of his friend. So like I'm sure
this is very iRobot.
Very much so. I'm sure it's probably kind of like slightly coincidental, just because like any one of those elements individually is already a little cliche, and so like at some point if you stack the blocks a certain way, like you're gonna get the same structure twice. But I do have faith that this is gonna go in like a lot more interesting. Not that iRobot is not interesting, but I have a feeling that this is gonna go in a lot more interesting and complex directions than what that movie does. So. But I really like Sarah. I think she's very cute, and I would not be shocked if it was legit just he wanted a daughter.
Yeah, that's where I'm expecting this to go to.
I could also see it as like he wanted a daughter. Oh, what?
Yeah, give me a bit. Yeah, I might have to hop off.
Okay,
and shut my computer off.
Okay, yeah, we can just end it real quick, so.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
My fans are acting up.
Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, well, thanks everybody for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.